Emotional control can determine whether you fail or succeed. But do you really know how to master shame, anger, and fear? Today, I'm going to show you a surprising story that reveals 5 simple steps to transform your emotions into your greatest strength. What if I told you there's a simple way to turn shame, anger, and fear into confidence and clarity? In today's video, we'll uncover the moving story of a teacher and her student, where a moment of humiliation almost destroyed everything, but ended up becoming the doorway to an unexpected breakthrough. And the best part, from this experience, we extracted 5 practical steps for you to learn how to control your emotions, even in the toughest situations. Stay until the end, because each step could be the missing key for you to regain balance and take back control of your life. To understand how these steps work in practice, let's dive into a story inside a classroom. A story that begins with a simple calculation on the board, but quickly turns into an emotional battle that will test not only a student, but also the courage of her teacher. This channel is new and was created to share stories that transform. If you'd like to help me validate this project, subscribe now and share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. It all starts when Mrs. Collins writes on the board, 1/4 plus 1/6, but before she can continue, a student mutters, "Hey, that's mine." "It's mine now, and you'll get it back after school," says Mrs. Collins. The class laughs. She ignores it and asks, "What do we need to do first?" Addison raises her hand, "Find the least common denominator." "Perfect," says the teacher. "And what about you, Mia? What number do 4 and 6 share?" "I don't know." A classmate mocks, "Of course she doesn't know, she spends all day on Roblox." And here I ask you, how would you react if you were ridiculed in front of everyone? Can you imagine the pressure Mia felt at that moment? Mia has a 2.0 GPA, far below the standard of the prestigious Hillcrest Academy. If she doesn't reach the 80th percentile on the next test, she'll be expelled. And Mrs. Collins could also lose her job. At home, the pressure is even greater. "You come from a family of doctors and engineers," says her father. "We're not paying for the best school for you to fail. No dinner. No excuses. Just punishment and study." Mia feels suffocated. Nobody understands. "I try, but I can't focus." And I ask you, how can someone concentrate and learn when fear takes over? Have you ever been through something similar, trying hard but unable to perform? The next day, the teacher is pressured by the principal. If this girl doesn't improve, she's out. We need a plan. Determined, Collins spends sleepless nights creating different methods. She discovers that Mia gets lost because the teaching is monotonous. So she decides to take a risk. In the next class, she arrives dressed as a grammar secret agent. She creates timed missions, spotting errors, solving calculations, completing stories. Mia starts laughing for the first time in class. But the experiment almost collapses when a viral video shows the teacher confiscating Mia's laptop for playing Roblox. The whole school talks about it. The humiliation is huge. But an idea is born from there. What if the game became part of the learning process? One night, Collins's fiancée comments, "Have you ever thought that Roblox could be used to teach?" Days later, the unexpected happens. Ethan, a famous game creator, shows up at the school. "I can help you turn Roblox into a classroom tool." Collins hesitates, but accepts. They create educational games, math in lava maps, reading in interactive stories, vocabulary challenges in virtual arenas. Mia, once distracted, now competes to answer correctly and unlock rewards. And here's another reflection for you. How many times has something that seemed like a huge problem in your life ended up becoming the solution? The whole class catches the energy. Even Addison, who mocked before, asks Mia for help. What seemed like a joke becomes a learning strategy. But the rival teacher, Mrs. Parks, won't accept it. This isn't curriculum. It's chaos. She threatens. If these students do well on the test, I'll resign myself, I'll quit. The tension explodes on results day. Everyone waits anxiously. The report card arrives. The class achieved the highest average ever recorded at the school. Mia, who was almost expelled, scores 93 points. Colin smiles, relieved. See, Mia? You were never incapable. You just needed a method that spoke your language. Mrs. Parks keeps her promise and steps down. And Collins proves that education isn't only about discipline, but also about connection. In the end, Mia understands, failure does not define anyone. What changes the game is when someone believes in you and finds the right key to unlock your potential. Now that you've seen this journey full of challenges and breakthroughs, it's time to turn inspiration into practice. Here are 5 simple steps to help you learn how to control your emotions and make them your greatest strength. 1. Breathe and don't react to the immediate impulse. When the class laughs at Mia, Mrs. Collins doesn't fall into the trap of provocation. She takes a deep breath, ignores the noise, and keeps her focus on the explanation. This self-control prevents the situation from spiraling and shows how, in the face of mockery, choosing silence can be more powerful than reacting. 2. Turn pain into creative motivation. Collins doesn't freeze under the principal's pressure or the student's humiliation. Instead, she uses the weight of the situation to create something new. She transforms the lesson into a fun mission with costumes and challenges. Suffering becomes fuel for innovation. 3. Reframe obstacles as opportunities. The most critical moment comes when a viral video humiliates both Collins and Mia. Most people would hide, but Collins sees an opening. If Roblox was a problem, why not turn it into the solution? That perspective changes everything. 4. Accept help and cooperate. Collins doesn't try to win alone. She accepts her fiancé's idea, welcomes Ethan's support, and involves her students in building the method. Controlling emotions also means creating space for collaboration, without pride or isolation. 5. Celebrate victories without forgetting the lesson. On test day, the result is historic. But more than numbers, the real victory is showing Mia she was never incapable. Emotional control appears when we turn the fear of failure into confidence, realizing that limits can be overcome with patience and persistence. These 5 lessons aren't just about a teacher and her student, they're about you. How many times have you reacted on impulse and regretted it later? What if, instead, you took a deep breath and let the emotion pass? When life pressures you, use it as creative fuel. If an obstacle seems impossible, ask yourself, how can I turn this into an opportunity? Don't forget, accepting help is not weakness, it's wisdom. And finally, celebrate every small win, because that's how confidence grows. If you apply these steps, you'll discover that controlling your emotions is not a gift for the few, it's a skill you can also develop. We're just getting started, so subscribe and help me grow. Here you'll always find inspiring stories, practical lessons, and deep reflections that can transform the way you face life and take control of your emotions.